Hello, Kathy. How are you? I'm fine. Oh, everyone popped in real quick here. Usually it's a minute or two before people start popping on. Hey, Tracy. Ready for another couple hours of live stream? Yeah, you are. You're ready, right? You were ready before we started. Cold, low 20s last night, although it's going to warm up into like the 50s or 60s today, and then cold again. Yeah, it has been a while, Kathy. Hey, Janine. Just in case you wondered here. Yeah, that was sort of a sad thing. Really sudden, unexpected. You just think somebody like that's going to live forever. Yeah, I like this T-shirt. This is a great one. It's one of my favorite episodes. Jordan and I went to Vegas once a number of years ago, and there was a Twilight Zone mini golf place that we went to, and they sold these in the gift shop. There's Rhonda. Oh, I didn't hear about his sister doing anything. Yeah, it's such an easier live stream when Rhonda's here because she carries most of the conversation. Makes it really easy on me, right, Bite? And I can just spend all my time brushing you. Well, I guess it depends on what they're doing for a grave marker. I'm told that mine's going to probably take a year, maybe longer. Oh, and then we got Eric too. Oh, dude, you're drooling on my shirt. Really? Oh, it's just something temporary. Okay. Because usually it takes a while. I know even in the case of my dad, it was about 6 months or so before they got a marker on it, and he had something relatively simple. So how is Adam's dad as a vlogger? I've never seen him. You still working at Fox, Eric? Oh, I think we're already way past that. There's at least another cat here. Right, Bite? Yeah, but I don't want to have anyone else figure it out. I want to have it all figured out ahead of time. So, whatever. I think it's just a responsible thing to do. Yeah, that was hard. That was sad to hear about John or Jordan's grandfather too. I know Jordan was really close to his grandfather, so that's a real gut punch for Jordan. I know. Oh, that's okay. That's cool. I guess that's right. That was an internship. Did you get paid for that, by the way? Sometimes they get paid internships. Whatever. I'm sure you got some really good experience out of that. Yeah, that's. I guess I didn't hear that part of it, but I guess that sort of explains the message that Jordan did that day, where he posted something that said this is supposed to be the best. It turned out to be the worst, or something like that. Yeah, Jordan got married in October. They did it at Debbie Reynolds' house in Las Vegas. I did go to the wedding. Yes, that was my first time getting to meet Katie, or at least three dimensionally. I don't know. Let me see if I still get the picture on here. I got a picture with the lovely couple. Let's see if it's in here. I put it in there. No, I'm not sure where it is. Maybe there. No, not there. I don't know. I showed it at a previous live stream. I'm not sure where it is right now. Morning, Gene. Yeah, it was at Debbie Reynolds' house. I'm actually really surprised. I shot a bunch of pictures and I thought for sure I showed them on here, which means they should still be on the laptop here. Hold on. I'm going to keep looking, see if I can find them here. Okay, that's a picture from it. Let's see here if we can figure out where that is. Mm, I don't know. I can't find it. I had it. I'm neglecting my audience here. Oh, you went to the Bailey? I went there once a few years ago. They weren't hibernating then. But yeah, they may be down. It's really cold. So you got snow in Canada, huh? Gee, that never happens, right? Wow. Well, that's right. I stopped brushing you, didn't I? How dare I? Yeah, I did. And like I said, it should be on the laptop here. I'm not sure why it isn't. Oh, it's always kind of instant pot season, Tracy. 2 feet. Yikes. Yeah, I think the most I've ever seen here is about 4 inches, and that was what, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Shows what's possible, but doesn't seem to happen that often. We're kind of moving into the season though. January and February is sort of when it happens. So I don't know. We'll see. It's cold enough for it. Lasagna soup, that sounds good. Of course, I always love a good lasagna. I got to start thinking about a new laptop too. I've had this one since I left California. I was given it actually the Christmas before I left California, and I knew I had my old one. My old one was still working, so I was going to keep that one going as long as possible, and then have this one as a backup when that one went. And came to be middle of May, and I was getting ready to move here, and I said, you know what? we're gonna whip out the new laptop. So yeah, that one's, you know, going on 7 years that I'm using this one. So every live stream I've ever done has been through this thing. Windows 98. I like Windows 98. That was a good OS. Yeah, that's a little on the chilly side, John. Really? I have a tablet, but I don't use it very often. It was one of those things that they gave me one time when well, not gave me, they kind of convinced me to take it for a slight increase on my cell bill. And I mean, I still have it, it still works, but I don't use it very often. Well, as long as it keeps working, that's what matters. I mean, I'm not seriously thinking about replacing this laptop because it still works well too. The only issue I have now is the battery life isn't what it used to be, but that's okay. I got a charger, and I always put it on the charger when I'm live streaming. Don't want the battery to die on me. Well, I like to be able to go cordless as much as possible, but you know, we just work with it. Like I said, I definitely plug it in when I'm doing the live stream because no matter how good the battery is, even if it's new, it's not going to last for a 2 hour live stream, right? Bite. You're getting your knee replaced, huh? Wow. Wow. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you for the super chat. That's awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah, well, that's sort of why I put him up there on the screen there to kind of help promote him a little bit. I'm really happy that he's stuck with us as long as he has, because he kind of tends to be a person, if he doesn't see like instant success, he kind of gives up on things. And so he's been doing this for, I don't know, a couple of years now, and he's still putting a lot of videos up. I guess it's relatively easy because when you live on the Big Island and love to go to the beach, you just bring the thing with you and put it on a tripod and instant video, right? Also, in the spring, we'll be able to count on you participating in the live streams a little bit more, huh? Won't have to work maybe as much. Hello, Charlotte. Haven't heard from you in a long time. How are you doing? I'm doing really well too. Thank you for asking. We got a request here a minute ago for some treats for Bite here. I guess we got to do that. Usually it's Darth that asks for the treats, but I guess the rule is if anyone asks for the treats, Bite has to get one, right? You got to stand up for it though. Yeah, I heard about that, Charlotte. That's too bad. Oh, there's Darth. You know your mom didn't really kill your cat. Your cat, your mom had to have him put to sleep, and that sometimes happens. I've had to put cats to sleep too. It's no fun, but you don't want them to suffer, right? When they hurt, it's just sometimes it's a nice thing to do, or maybe not nice, but the right thing to do. I know you understand that. Yeah, and that's sad when you don't get to say goodbye. I know that's too bad that didn't happen, but you know, you got to ask yourself if your cat was suffering, did you want him to suffer longer? She did what she thought was the right thing. Looks like you got some drama over at the Sear house here. All that war over who's going to control the phone. Escaping the mouse, creating family unity for almost 7 years now. Woohoo! So you're taller than Charlotte is now? That's funny. Works all right. Boss has been out for a little while, so it's just me and the other lead that have been kind of covering things. It's been a rough couple of weeks, so I'm glad we're on the weekend. The girls are in timeout. Uh-oh. Yeah, I don't know if I could afford a TV ad. I've got two people ask the same question here. As a matter of fact, I do have some new stuff. I did go last week. It was kind of an off week, but they were celebrating their third anniversary of being open. So I went and visited. It was an off week though, so I kind of didn't spend a whole bunch of money, just bought a couple of little things that were kind of fun. But here, I'll show you. I saw this. This was just a little simple little piece of fluorite. And I don't know, it was kind of pretty. And of course, fluorite is one of those things that glows under the black light. So, I like anything that does that. So that's really cool. And I got this, and this is cool. It turns out everything I got this week glows under a black light. You don't really see that much under the shortwave light, but it's kind of cool under the long wave. If we can see that here, there's a little bit of a red glow. Maybe it's not showing up all that well, but it glows a little bit under the shortwave light. You can see a little bit of it going on there, kind of red. So that was kind of fun. And I've actually kind of wanted one of these for a little while here. It says, yeah, that on it. And I wanted one with it that's made out of Uperlite, because Uperlite does such amazing things under a black light, and they had one. So I picked up one of those. I thought that was kind of cool. I like Uperlite. Uperlite's a lot of fun. And I got this, and this is actually something that's man-made. But it's actually also really amazing under a black light because it glows. And what's really neat is it holds the glow for several minutes after you take the light off of it. Because see, that's the back. That's what it normally looks like. But like I said, it really holds the light for a long time. So that's kind of cool. I like that. I don't know. I'm not usually into the shape things that much, but I've really kind of gotten into the gotten into spheres, and I got a whole bunch of different spheres in my collection, and so that just seemed like a natural thing. And then Kara just gave me that. That's something that she painted, but she painted it with like a ultraviolet paint, and so you can't even tell, but it glows just really amazing under a black light there too. So I don't know. That's just man-made. The rock is real, but no, I haven't gotten into the story yet with a camera. Yeah, well, and I mean, it's several minutes later and it's still sort of glowing a little bit. So, not really showing up on the camera that well anymore, but I don't know. You can see a little bit there as it rotates around. So, I don't know. That was a really cool thing, I think. Yeah, pool ball. I think it would float. I don't think it would float, though. I think it would sink. Plus, I don't have the pool anymore. Oakwood's a nice place, Eric. There's actually, it was I think I said this in the vlog. It was really an advantage doing vlogs because it encouraged me to check out different cemeteries, and I knew almost for when I probably within the first year or two that was where I wanted to be. You get in a hot tub? That's awesome. I might do that at some point. We'll see. I kick you out? Yeah, we haven't really had a uh, uh, good comet for a long time. I think one that you could just really look in the sky and say, "Oh wow, look at that." No, I'm still waiting for a um, quote from the second company. I ended up going out to the second company because they called me and wanted a little bit more information. They actually gave me an artist conception drawing of what they have in mind, and I'm actually really excited to see what they have. There were two companies I went to, the Phipps Monument Company, and they got me a quote like within a couple of days. And then, like I said, I got a telephone call uh, from Dietz, which is the other one that I went to, and they, I went in there just to talk to them and see what they thought. And actually, like I said, they had questions, and so I actually shot photos of that thing from different angles and brought that into them so they could see what we're talking about. And like I said, they gave me a picture and of what they have kind of in mind, and I think they really get this. So I'm looking forward to seeing what their quote is. But I guess the granite's coming from India, so it's going to take a while to get that. I heard one of them say it might be a year. But once I get to the point where I choose which company I'm go with and choose the price and all that and the options, um, we'll make our decision then, and then we'll find out how long it's going to be. Hang on a second. Let me go get you the artist conception drawing. Let's just see what we're talking about here. Be right back. Decided to keep all my stuff together in a folder called funeral stuff. Good place, right? So let me pull out what I got here. Yeah, see, this is a picture that Deep sent me, and so like I said, I think they get me. They already decided to design the picture to at the angle it would be like. And one of the questions he wanted to know is, do I want the text to be like this or to be parallel to the ground? And it's got to be parallel to the ground. Otherwise, it's going to look like the monument was created this way and it just tipped over time. So, and this was the picture that they gave me of it from the top. And I like the fact that each of the sides are different lengths. So it isn't like my model over there where the four side pieces are all the same. Uh, they understood that. They maintained the 20-degree angles or the 120-degree angles on all sides here, and they managed to keep the all the sides different. So that's going to be really cool. So like I said, I'm really excited about their plans. I want to see what their quote is, and I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be great, I think. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to put on it yet. This is basically just getting the piece made. I don't know. I don't know what the laws are about ashes in national parks. Yeah, yeah. I escaped the mouse. That's it. It shouldn't be doing anymore. Have it set up to, I have it set up for an ad every period, every certain interval, and the interval is like 12 minutes. You shouldn't be seeing anything more than that. I don't know. I haven't seen an increase in my revenue. Yeah, yeah, that's it. We'll call it the billionaire rodent. I don't know why every time I pick up my glass of water, the napkin I have underneath it to sop up all the condensation keeps coming with it. Flash is good. I mean, she's in hibernation mode. It was so cold last night though that I actually moved her into the garage, so she's in the storm shelter right now. Yeah, and that's what I'll probably do too. You know, if and when that time comes. Well, I mean, it'll come eventually. You know, set up some charity to be the recipient of any profits that come in. I mean, it's never going to be that much, and if I stop producing new material, you know, it'll probably drop off even more. But whatever, we'll find some ASPCA or something, local animal shelter. I don't know. I don't know who would take over. My parents are gone. My sister isn't really interested in it, so I'm guessing it'll probably just stop. We'll forgive you this time, Logan. You're lucky you just get put on timeout. My parents used to give me a spanking. You got it made. And Nana loved you too, Logan. She had a picture of you because your mom sent me a picture of you and your sister, and I made little framed pictures for her one year for Christmas of you two, so she knew what you looked like. I don't know. I don't know if I'd want AI to be smarter than me. Might produce videos that people actually want to watch, right? CGI with life. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think I knew that too, Logan. That you had a picture of my mom. I don't know. Did I ever show you guys a picture of her gravestone? Sure, I got one here. Let me see. Hang on. My sister tends to send me pictures of it. You know, on all the holidays and stuff like that. Christmas, birthday, anniversary of their passing. Yeah, there's a picture. Let me see if I can get that emailed to myself here. Download. That's what I got to do. Now let's see if I can find it. No, I can't for now. I don't know. We'll figure it out. My mom would love that, Logan. And we'll just do it this way here. Looks like my sister's going to be here to visit me in early April, probably I think the 6th to the 8th. Yeah, there's my mom and dad's marker right there. Let's see if we can blow it up a little bit more here so you can see it a little clearer. Yeah, there we go. Hopefully that's a little better. So yeah, if you're ever in Cypress, California, they're at Forest Lawn in the David section, I guess. Appropriate because my dad's name was David, right? Yeah, I don't know. 5 ads, that seems a little excessive. You ought to see when I when the live streams are over, I usually make them go private for about a day to allow YouTube a chance to like process everything and get the video quality up. And before I make them go live, I have to delete all the ads that they put on there because in a 2 hour video they'll put like 50 ads that I'll have to go in and delete. And then I go and put it, I go put my own ads in. I'll set up for about every 15 minutes. I think that's about right. That's what TV used to be. Yeah, I kind of when I get home from work at night, I my phone goes on the charger. Fortunately, the phone's new enough that the battery lasts pretty long. I get home at the end of the day after all day on it, and it's still at 70%. So I definitely limit the ads on the playback. One in a million guy. That means one person in a million watches me. That's probably about right. Might be closer to one in a billion. Well, if I'm gone, then I will be nobody, and nobody will replace me. Well, that's why we got you, Rhonda, so you can carry the load here. Like I said, I could walk away from the camera right now, and the live stream would be just fine. because Rhonda would carry it here. Just got to bring up an interesting topic, Rhonda. I don't go into these with the decision that, yeah, today we're going to talk about this. No, you guys decide what the topic is. Always have. What are you doing in your renovation? The floors, huh? Okay. Well, that's basically how any of the vlogs work. I record them ahead of time and upload them with the intention that they go live at a certain point. It would be a trippy though to put some videos set to go live like a year or two from now, and all of a sudden if I die or something like that, like a year later, all of a sudden videos start popping up again. You're going to Yosemite or to Yellowstone, huh? That's nice. Say hi to Old Faithful. I saw something that Kara over at Gallery 11 posted this morning on her Facebook page. I've always liked Labradorite. It's kind of a natural stone that has kind of uh, a luminescence to it under white light. Let me show you here. I have a couple pieces of it. Labradorite is a fun piece. Let's see, where's my Labradorite? Oh, looking right at it. No wonder I can't see it. It's right in front of my nose. All right, back in the broadcast position here. So this is Labradorite, and you can see when you get the light just right, it kind of reflects off of some of the layers in there. And Kara was saying that they use this stuff to make kitchen counters, and I was thinking, oh wow, that might be kind of the thing to get me back into to remodeling the kitchen, is if I could have a Labradorite countertop. Yeah, it's an Android, Kathy. Rhonda is correct. I'm not an Apple person. Thanks for stopping in, Tracy. Good to see you. Racy. I didn't call you Racy, did I? I called you Tracy. That's what I meant. Oh, yeah, toilets aren't that hard to fix. I find it interesting that there's people out there who know what kind of cell phone I have. That's the ultimate trivia question here. What kind of cell phone does Breck have? Yeah, I guess that's true. But I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell from that because that's just the case. Guess if I show it while it's on, that's maybe a dead giveaway. Oh, we have somebody in here named Gouda Love Me. It is. It's Samsung Galaxy. I think model S7 is what it is, or is it S17? I don't know. I'm not really that happy with it. The touchscreen isn't really good. The camera sucks. I used to use my camera on my cell phone, as a backup from time to time. The video quality, the picture quality just looks really bad. Never been really happy with this phone. Gonna have to be a little bit more discriminating in the future. Yeah, except Betamax was actually a good format. Betamax is actually better quality than VHS, but people like the fact that you get 2 hours of video on a VHS and longer if you played it in EP. Oh, that was nice of Jessica. Well, it's weird because I've always had Samsung Galaxy phones in the past, and I've loved the cameras on those. I don't know what it is. If this was like a bargain model, you'd still think they'd put a decent camera in it. Like I said, I didn't really do any research, so I blame myself for that. I just said I need a new phone, and that's what I got. Hmm. Yeah, I was wondering that a little bit too myself, Rhonda. An Epic Pulse shirt. That's what everybody needs. We all need an Epic Pulse shirt and some pins too. Does it say "Be Epic"? See, that's what I'd make the pin. That would be my slogan if I were you. Be epic, because you used to use that. Remember? Yeah, I went to Pure Talk after Verizon. I had a bad experience last time with Verizon, and well, I always kind of had a bad issue with Verizon. They just they don't have real good customer service. I went into one of their stores because I was having problems with my phone, and there was only one person in there. There were like four people waiting to talk to that one person. And after sitting there for an hour, I finally got to talk to him. They said, "Oh yeah, we can't help you. You got to go down to our corporate office." And I said, "Yeah, no, I'm done. That was it." I don't wear mine either, John. I don't know. It seems a little creepy to wear a shirt with your picture on it. It's more of a collector's item, I think, for me. And of course, I ended up with my mom's copy of hers. That's what that is right there. I made her. She didn't want to, didn't want one to wear. She just wanted one and wanted it framed. So I had it framed for her for Christmas or birthday. I think it was probably her birthday because it was that time I went and visited her and surprised her in California. The girls have theirs framed too. Oh wow, how do they hold up? I mean, the girls they wore them a lot, didn't they? That was my first experience ever dealing with that company. Never took them off. All right. Free advertising. I like it. Yeah, that's right. I signed them too, didn't I? I remember that too. That was a new experience too, because I'd never used a Sharpie on fabric before. I think I heard stories about that too, Rhonda. That's funny. That puts a smile on my face. Yeah, my biggest and at the same time littlest fans. Yeah, I think that's the story I heard, Rhonda. I'd be proud if I had a daughter who would flash a priest. That's true. I had my face on a billboard too, a couple times. That's scary, right? Yeah, that would have been a whole different conversation, Rhonda. No, nobody recognized me, even when I was there posting with my picture or with my billboard. Because I did snap a couple of pictures of myself. Let's see if I got those here. Guessing it would be in October. Yeah, yeah. See, that's me and me with my billboard. I got a bunch of them like that, kind of different ones, different angles, kind of a close up there. Look at that ugly dude. No wonder they put him on a billboard with doesn't even need to wear makeup and he scares people. I have mine in my closet too. Yeah, I know. I never had my picture on a billboard in California. Been here less than 7 years, and it's happened twice already. I guess it's just good as long as I don't have my picture in a post office. That would be a whole different conversation. Yeah, I'm going to have to spend a little bit more time researching it next time I change. Like I said, the rest of the phone is okay. It's just the touchscreen is horrible, and the camera. I don't like the camera, and it doesn't have enough volume on the speaker either. I ended up having to go get a little belt Bluetooth speaker that I could use because if I go out and walk at night, I like to play some music, and I couldn't even hear the music coming from the speaker. Used to be able to on the old phone, or most unwanted. I don't know. I am from California after all. I am the enemy. Well, my reason for getting going Android was one app, and that one app was called SkyMap, which is right there on my front page, and that's basically it's it's Google Maps but for stars and planets and stuff like that. Yeah, or an illegal invader, one or the other. I don't know. I just think this is probably where I should have always been. Texas was a good move for me. I also like some of the weather extremes that we get here. California was boring on weather wise. You know, you had hot, you had medium, and occasional rain and wind. And that was about it. Yeah. See, that was one of my decisions too. When I left California and decided where I wanted to go, I decided I didn't want to go someplace that freezes solid for 4 or 5 months a year. That's too much. We get a little bit of snow here sometimes, and it's just about right. It's here, and then you're done with it. Well, it was weird because I've always had good luck. I've had multiple Androids from Samsung, and like I said, just this one, not so much. You hate snow. Living in Canada is the best place to be if you hate snow. Nibble passed away about a year ago, so it's just biting me now. It was sad, but you know, kind of saw it coming. She was a sweet kitty. I said bite and me. I didn't say bite me. That would also be a whole different conversation. I know, and it made me laugh. See this? This is my laughing face. I don't even know what that is. Farting Freddy. Oh, that's what the world needs. A farting teddy bear? Is that what it is? I don't know. Freddy, huh? Okay, let's. Well, I'm curious here. Let's go see what this is. You know what curiosity did to the cat? Okay, so yeah, well, let's look at Google here, see what it has to say. So I don't know. I guess that's kind of weird. Farting noise and a movement sensor, huh? Wow. It farts and it boops or and burps. Is that what happens? What have I been missing? That's the best kind of thing. It's funny. A number of years ago, my parents got me like a ceramic frog. It's about that big, and it had a motion sensor in it. And every time you walk by it, it'd go ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. And for the longest time, it stopped working. I just figured the batteries burned out or something like that. I put new batteries in it, but it didn't seem to work. And I put it out on my porch, and all of a sudden it started working again. Now every time anyone's on the porch, it goes ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. So that's cool. Works really good. Martial arts Waco ad here going on. All right. Well, I'm not here to advertise for somebody else. I've been thinking about getting like a security system for the house, some cameras and stuff like that. I don't know. Got to do some research on it. That'll be a good vlog, right? I mean, I got this computer over here that's my old computer and I'm not even using. That'd be a great base station for it. Let's see, now it's just gone to complete ads. Like I said, I'm not advertising it for anyone else. All right, looks like we're back to our normal programming here. There was a point a couple weeks ago where it would go in, it would break away for an ad, and it would go into like an hour long live stream that somebody was doing. It's like, wait, no, I don't want, I'm not here for that. Yeah, I think it was like March that Nibble passed away. It was sad. She was a sweet little kitty, and Bite hasn't been the same ever since. He misses her. Still got a few kitty treats. He's just over there by the door. Maybe he'll come up and visit us again here. Coax him up with some treats here. I don't think he'd be as tolerant of the GoPro as Flash is. Flash doesn't seem to know that it's there. Butterball, huh? Okay. Bite. Sometimes brushing the couch will get him to come out. There's just a certain sound that comes with that. But I don't know, maybe not this time. So they can't be mistaken for twins anymore, huh? Yeah, I guess that happens sometimes. There was never really any confusing bite and nibble though. Okay, he's going back to his room. Yeah, I would like to get a new telescope, but I don't know. It's a matter of figuring out, what I want. There was this thing that Celestron had, and I think I've shown it a few times. That it's actually it's not really a telescope. It's a camera on a telescope, and so there's no eyepiece in it. It's just the camera, and so what you end up doing is shooting photos of stuff. It's supposedly really cool, and it's supposedly really cool. Let me see here. Let's see if I can find it here. There it is, the origin. Okay, so we'll cut away to this. Gonna go to their website here. So I guess they got a new version now. No, and this one's out of stock too. But see, there isn't, like I said, there isn't an eyepiece on this thing. It just it's just a camera and a telescope, and then everything connects via your cell phone. So I don't know. That would be a cool thing. It's not cheap though. Look at that price, $4,300. Or I could get it for $388 a month. Yeah, it looks like they clearly did not plan on it being as popular as it is. But I guess that's some of the pictures that the people have shot. That wasn't what I wanted to do. Hang on, we'll go over here again. That's where we were. Different galaxies and stuff like that. Nebula. Like I said, the telescope I have now is kind of a toy. So I'd kind of like to get something that's semi-professional, and this definitely would fall into that category. I guess you can connect it up to your to your TV too. Looks like, huh? Looks like they're probably pair. Looks like they're pairing the pairing to the TV with a camera or their cell phone. Made in Torrance, California. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, but what will I do? What will I use to buy rocks if I spend it all on a telescope? No, it doesn't do video. It's photos only. That would be really cool, John, is to be able to get one that does both. I don't know if I've got a picture of Nibble's grave. What I did is I basically took like a 12 inch by 12-inch cinder block stepping stone, put it on top of her, and then I went over to that statuary place over in Bruceville Eddy, which is about 15 miles from here or so, and got a little seated kitty cat, or basically stone kitty cat, and put that on top of it, and got a little placard made that had her name and her birth and death date. Yeah, I suppose I could probably do that. You're Darth Saver now, huh? See, I don't know if the thing that makes this particular telescope be able to get pictures like that is that you got to some of these things you got to have really long exposures for. I'm sure some of those those images that I showed you a minute ago, those are probably 10, 15, maybe even longer minute exposures. What museum are you going to, Gene? I always love a good museum. Or maybe we've lost her already here. I've heard of Sam, but I haven't heard of Asian Depot Buffet. Yeah, and that's sort of how this telescope works. Is you you have to leave it. leave the exposure going for a very long time. Museum of Fine Arts, huh? The Frida Kahlo exhibit. I've seen some of her work. It's in Houston, huh? I think I've sort of decided that the telescope I have now, I'm going to give to Goodwill because I've basically done everything I'm going to do with that. It's good, it's good for looking at the moon. You can look at Jupiter and Saturn. You can see the rings of Saturn, a couple of moons of Jupiter, but that's about its limit. Have fun at the museum, Gene. That sounds like that's going to be a good time. Well, I guess what we were talking a little bit earlier, Bearcat, is that I guess his father has taken over and has started publishing videos again on there. So I guess that's at least what the future is. Somebody said earlier that he said on the vlog that when he gets word of what it was that that Adam died of, that he'll announce that. So I guess we'll find out at some point. That was really a shocker, though. I heard that too. That his dad has his own channel. That's funny or interesting. Yeah, well, that's what keeps this whole thing going, Darth, is the ads. Look at that lens flare on that video. Holy cow. Everyone needs a pizza kitchen oven. I don't think we're actually supposed to have lights and stuff like that. Although I think some people do stuff like that. The place actually has pretty strict rules about what you can about what you can do with you know extra things. You can't put plants. You can't do leave knickknacks and flags and stuff like that. Artificial flowers, that kind of stuff. Well, I'd probably live on pizza if I could too. I'll tell you though, it's going to actually be pretty easy to find my marker because basically you just go in the main entrance. There's five. Well, there's a whole bunch of crossroads. There's one main road that goes up the center of cemetery, and there's five crossroads. When you hit the fifth one, you turn right, and right before you hit the next road, it's on the right side. Make it easy to find. I've thought about putting a QR code on my stone. Texas, of course. I'm a Texan now. I want to do everything in my power to avoid going to California. California is a scary place. No, I haven't talked to my nephew at all about that. Not Texas. I'm never afraid to walk around in Texas. Even in that apartment I lived in, which was kind of a dive, I never was afraid of getting out and walking around the neighborhood. Because I used to get out and walk a lot. Still do. Ain't construction grand? I know. I was hoping when they finished working on I-35 going through town a couple of years ago that would be it now for a while because the I-35 was jacked up basically for in the downtown area across the river and a couple miles past the river for basically from when I moved here until like a year or two ago when they finally opened it. Now they've closed another section of I-35 and they're redoing that. So that's going to be jacked up for the next probably 5 years. I don't know. So much road construction going on here. That's sort of a joke that you see all the time around here too. Is it joking about how much road construction, how it's always going on? Yeah, I got the treats, but no one to feed them to. I'm not eating that myself. I'll throw it down the hall. That's about all I can do, Darth, because he's in his room right now. Sometimes that sound gets his attention though, so we'll see if he pops out. Never even heard of it, Rhonda. Nope, that didn't get his attention. Oh well. That makes everybody's pets go crazy, especially Rhonda's, right? Rhonda loves it when I do this. Probably all your pets do too, right? That did get his attention, though. There he is. He's not watching where he's going, though. I just threw like half a dozen treats down the hall there. He's walking right by him, not even noticing. Are you? Oh, well. If he comes, he'll come. Torturing your pets across the internet. Yeah, only problem with feeding them uh, chicken is they get used to it and they won't eat anything else. Might get kibble and occasional kitty treats. That's probably true. That's probably good. They're not eating cat food. Cat food's not particularly good for dogs. I think a little too rich for them. I think you just finally found out all the treats were on the floor because now he's chicken legs with the backs attached. Huh? Yeah, that sounds a little gross. Roads aren't too bad. There's a few roads in the area that need some work. There's one road, Bosky, kind of over by where I used to live. That I think the roads are a little too narrow. I think originally it was probably designed to be one way on each side, and they tried to crunch them together and to do two lanes on each side. And it's a little scary driving through there just because the roads are so narrow and it's kind of curvy, so you're trying to not swerve out of lane, hit the car next to you. Yeah, it's sort of the same here, I think, John. with the extreme heat that we get and all the rain. Rain is really your big enemy with potholes. Looking around to see if you can find any more trees. Yeah, there he is. You gonna come visit? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll coax him up here yet. You'll be the first to find out. Well, second, I'll be the first, but you get the point. Wow. But does anyone have any feelings on Kathleen Kennedy stepping down from Lucasfilms? I think it's a good move. She's destroyed that franchise. Now let's move on to another one. Star Wars was such a great franchise, but it died. Rest in peace, Star Wars. No one died. Kathleen Kennedy was the head of Lucasfilm. So anything for the last 30 years or so that come out of Lucasfilms was her. And she just kind of killed the franchise. Star Wars was dead after episode 6. And it really started going bad when they started with episode 7, when Disney took over. Then they killed off Han Solo when they probably should have killed off Carrie Fisher. Princess Leia. Hello, Gene. So many people get into Was it Stranger Worlds or Stranger Things? Never seen it. I'm doing fine, Gene. How are you doing? I've been binge watching Home Improvement lately. That's on Netflix. That's a good show. Yeah, I actually went last week to the Rock Shop. Didn't really spend a whole bunch of money because it was kind of my off week, but it was their third anniversary, and I kind of wanted to, go and visit them and help celebrate. And so, I don't know. The only things really worth mentioning are this piece here. That's just another piece of fluorite. I have a lot of fluorite. Fluorite is cool because of what it does with a black light. And that always makes it fun. And I got this piece too, which has got all sorts of fun little crystal stuff going on in it. And this is another one that reacts to the black light, although not very much. It isn't showing up very well on the camera. You can see a little bit of red, especially right out there on the edges when I hit it. I always love my ultraviolet stuff. And I've actually been meaning to get one of these for a long time because those are kind of fun. And I wanted one that was made out of Uper light because Uper light is great with a black light. That's one of those UV reactive ones. And I got several pieces of Uper light that I really like. So that was fun. And I got this. This is just something that's man-made. Well, I like this because this also reacts to the black light. And unlike a lot of things with the black light, it continues to glow for quite a long time afterwards. You can kind of see the difference between the day side and the night side there. So that's kind of a fun thing. I don't know if the cemetery would allow that on my tombstone. Yeah, exactly. It is sort of a dark side of the moon thing going on. Yeah, yeah. We just moved this to PG-13. You're right, but we're all adults here. We can handle it. Besides, when I post stuff, YouTube says, "So is it excessive use of vulgar language?" No, that isn't excessive. I didn't even say the word. I just showed it. I got a steak thawing. See, I just haven't really been that impressed with anything that came after Return of the Jedi. Well, I mean, this cemetery lets you do all sorts of interesting things. That's why I didn't think that, my idea for the headstone, that piece right there, uh, would be that much of a problem because there's way stranger things out there than that. better oblige him, Rhonda. I mean, he asks for pizza and doesn't get pizza. Could good ugly. That's no moon. That's a space station. Jordan, I think, was into Arrested Development. And I saw a few episodes when he was like in a binge watching mode, but that one never really took with me. I don't know about putting the YouTube logo on there because there might be a copyright issue with that. I don't know. They might dig me out and dig me up and kick me out. Yeah, I've been thinking sort of about maybe retiring that logo because I mean I have escaped the mouse. Disney is no longer a factor in my life. You'll stick Logan on him, all right. I feel better then. Just remember, if Mickey comes knocking at your door, kicking him in the gonads isn't going to do you any good because more often than not, Mickey is played by a woman. Doesn't quite have the same effect. I've been started thinking about retiring the intro music at the beginning of the video too, going back to just the still image for 5 seconds and then kicking into the show. I know it's getting to the point it annoys me when I'm editing the video, so I can only imagine what that you get annoyed too. Walt would not agree with what happened to Disney. I know that. Yeah, you never know what they're going to pick up, Rhonda. Not just turning over, spinning. They had to dig him up, wrap him in wire. Then we could at least generate electricity from him spinning in his grave like that. You have such wonderful neighbors, Rhonda. All right. That's funny. This from the person who's flashing a priest. Thanks for stopping in, Darth. It's always great when you're here. I actually got one that I shot last week, and I got it all edited, and somehow I lost the file. So I got to go re-edit it, but that will come up on Tuesday. So there'll definitely be a video on Tuesday, and I don't know. I want to do another one too. So we'll see. Remember, Logan, when Mom gets her knee replaced, she won't be able to chase you. So she got the best of both. So they got the best of both worlds, then, huh? That's awesome. What are they? 7 now? Okay, that's what I thought they're about that. I know they're like what 9 or 10 months apart age wise. Turn into big girls. Let's see. Video freeze. No, it didn't. Sometimes it just looks like there's nothing happening here, but no, I can definitely see movement now. Yeah, a couple of people walking in the background. No, I'm not sure what a newfie is. I guess I have heard apps that will be like a police scanner and stuff like that. I've never had one. Never really been that big a thing. There isn't really a lot of crime around here anyway. I don't think I've ever heard of any crime in this area. I'm sure it's probably happened, but people here tend to respect each other's property and lives. Yeah, I hear like emergency traffic every once in a while. I don't know. I don't generally know if it's police or fire or ambulance or paramedics or whatever, but you hear it every once in a while. Change the stop sign every time a baby's born. Well, you got a small town, that might mean that the lights don't change very often, huh? Unless there's a lot of babies coming, being born there. Average age is 76, huh? I haven't looked at the demographics on this site here. Let's get that all figured out here. I'm curious of who my demographics are because my demographics have changed over the years. Let's see here. All right. So let's see who my audience is here. I can usually tell quite a bit. Um, let's see. I haven't looked at this in a long time. Yeah. See that video that I made like a year ago? That's my number one video in the past month. And then the Adam the Woo one, that was the number two. Christmas live stream did all right. Let's see. Audience. That's what I want to see. Oh, let's see. Age and gender. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so there's my audience breakdown. So, yeah, most of you are basically right there around my age, 55 to 64. That's my main demographic. About evenly male female now. It used to be heavily female. It was like 70 to 30 female to male, which is interesting. And there's no people that don't fall into the male female category that are watching my channel at least. 0.1% of my viewers are 18 to 24-year-old females. Really starts rocking it up here when you get up to like the 50s and 60s. Interesting. And it's almost evenly split in terms of watch time. Males are more likely to watch my videos than females, but pretty evenly split in terms of the time that they watch. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. How many vloggers do you know that did take you behind the scenes and show you their analytics? Yeah, basically, I guess I get a certain amount of money for every ad that's run. So the more videos that run, I guess the more money I get. But see, that's never really been that big a thing. There's other reasons I do this. But yeah, that video, that I did the live stream where we talked about Adam the Woo so much. That one got a lot of views. Did really well. It's a little bit more than $10 a month, but yeah, that's that's it's not far from that. I'm nowhere near Jordan's category. I still got to work a big boy job. You should try it, Rhonda. I mean, Jordan kind of pressured me into doing it, and I don't know. I think it's been a good experience. Never been a big payday. I think I saw this morning that I've earned $13,000 over 7 years of vlogging. So yeah, it's beer money. Yeah, I don't know why YouTube. Like I said, I told YouTube to post an ad every 12 minutes. I don't know why they're doing that more. Car repairs. There you go. We got Jeff fixing tractors. You can fix cars, and I'll just bore people. That's what a lot of people do, Gene. Is you know, just talk about their hobbies. I mean, I do that on some level too. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not seeing that much more money, if any. Anyway, I think I put in my 2 hours. I'm going to pull the plug on this one. I got to go over to the rock and mineral store today, see what they got going on. And I think I'll catch up with you next week. So thanks for stopping in, everyone. We had fun today, and I hope we'll see you again next week. Have a good night.